HESI A2 Anatomy and Physiology High-Yield Questions. Question 1. Impairment of which process would most directly prevent the following function? Moves gas from alveoli into pulmonary capillary blood? Option A. Transcription. Option B. Oxygen diffusion. Option C. Appositional growth. Option D. Glomerular filtration rate. The correct answer is option B. Oxygen diffusion. A key clue is that this process follows a partial minus pressure gradient. It also moves gas from alveoli into pulmonary capillary blood. That combination is central to loading hemoglobin in the lungs. Question 2. A learner connects the clues, increases the angle between articulating bones, and often straightens a limb. Which option best matches both clues? Option A. Fibrous joint. Option B. Hinge joint. Option C. Pivot joint. Option D. Extension. The correct answer is option D. Extension. The function described is that this joint structure or movement increases the angle between articulating bones. A second identifying feature is that it often straightens a limb. Together, the two clues explain the role in describing joint movement. Question 3. Which option identifies the process associated with raising glucose availability in both clues? It breaks glycogen into glucose units, and it helps supply fuel between meals or during activity. Option A. Receptor-mediated endocytosis. Option B. Endochondral ossification. Option C. Simple diffusion. Option D. Glycogenolysis. The correct answer is option D. Glycogenolysis. The function described is that this process breaks glycogen into glucose units. A second identifying feature is that it helps supply fuel between meals or during activity. Together, the two clues explain the role in raising glucose availability. Stressed about your GED? We can take GED for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. A review item describes a joint structure or movement that transmits contractile force to move a joint. Which option identifies it? Option A. Tendon. Option B. Flexion. Option C. Ligament. Option D. Meniscus. The correct answer is option A. Tendon. For linking the muscular and skeletal systems, this joint structure or movement connects muscle to bone. It can also be recognized because it transmits contractile force to move a joint. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 5. Impairment of which structure would most directly prevent the following function? Supports dim-light and peripheral vision. Option A. Autonomic nervous system. Option B. Rod. Option C. Cerebrum. Option D. Utricle. The correct answer is option B. Rod. A key clue is that this structure is highly sensitive but does not provide color detail. It also supports dim-light and peripheral vision. That combination is central to seeing at night. Question 6. Which option identifies the cell structure associated with preparing the machinery for protein synthesis? In both clues, it assembles ribosomal subunits, and it appears as a dense region inside the nucleus. Option A. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Option B. Centrosome. Option C. Peroxisome. Option D. Nucleolus. The correct answer is option D. Nucleolus. The function described is that this cell structure assembles ribosomal subunits. A second identifying feature is that it appears as a dense region inside the nucleus. Together, the two clues explain the role in preparing the machinery for protein synthesis. Question 7. Which option identifies the process whose key function is rebuilds the uterine lining after menstruation? Option A. Glomerular filtration rate. Option B. Proliferative phase. Option C. Exhalation. Option D. Translation. The correct answer is option B. Proliferative phase. This process rebuilds the uterine lining after menstruation. It is driven mainly by estrogen before ovulation. These linked features explain the role in organizing the uterine cycle. Question 8. A student is reviewing a concept involved in conserving core temperature. Which option identifies the skin structure or response with this function? Reduces heat loss by limiting blood flow near the surface. Option A. Stratum spinaceum. Option B. Cutaneous vasoconstriction. Option C. Vitamin D synthesis. Option D. Eccrine sweat gland. The correct answer is option B. Cutaneous vasoconstriction. The role tested here involves conserving core temperature. This skin structure or response reduces heat loss by limiting blood flow near the surface. It can also be identified because it is promoted during cold exposure. Are you looking for GED actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access GED study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get GED answer key today. Question 9. Which option identifies the muscles with this feature? They connects the lumbar region and pelvis to the femur. Option A, iliopsoas. Option B, pectoralis major. Option C, gastrocnemius. Option D, the external oblique. The correct answer is option A, iliopsoas. These muscles participate in lifting the thigh toward the trunk. They strongly flexes the hip, and they connects the lumbar region and pelvis to the femur. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 10. A student is reviewing a concept involved in sensing force beneath the skin. Which option identifies the skin structure or response with this function, detects deep pressure and high frequency vibration? Option A, lamellar corpuscle. Option B, the Cochrane sweat gland. Option C, stratum lucidum. Option D, a melanocyte. The correct answer is option A, lamellar corpuscle. The role tested here involves sensing force beneath the skin. This skin structure or response detects deep pressure and high frequency vibration. It can also be identified because it has an onion-like capsule in deeper tissue. Question 11. Which option identifies the folds that allow the stomach to expand as it fills? Option A, mitochondrion. Option B, dorsal root. Option C, rugae. Option D, humerus. The correct answer is option C, rugae. These folds allow the stomach to expand as it fills. They are folds of the mucosa and submucosa. These linked features explain the role in accommodating a meal. Question 12. Which option identifies the cell that secretes hydrochloric acid and intrinsic factor? Option A, phagocyte. Option B, parietal cell. Option C, pancreatic alpha cell. Option D, hepatocyte. The correct answer is option B, parietal cell. This cell secretes hydrochloric acid and intrinsic factor. It is located in gastric glands. These linked features explain the role in supporting protein digestion and vitamin absorption. Question 13. Which option identifies the respiratory structure that covers the laryngeal entrance during swallowing? Option A, surfactant. Option B, laryngopharynx. Option C, epiglottis. Option D, respiratory bronchiole. The correct answer is option C, epiglottis. This respiratory structure covers the laryngeal entrance during swallowing. It is an elastic cartilage flap. These linked features explain the role in reducing aspiration of food. Question 14. A student is reviewing a concept involved in preserving the uterine lining. Which option identifies the hormone with this function, maintains the ovarian hormone secreting structure early in pregnancy? Option A, thyroxine. Option B, triiodothyronine. Option C, progesterone. Option D, human chorionic gonadotropin. The correct answer is option D, human chorionic gonadotropin. The role tested here involves preserving the uterine lining. This hormone maintains the ovarian hormone secreting structure early in pregnancy. It can also be identified because it is produced by trophoblast derived tissue. Question 15. Which option identifies the plane associated with viewing a side section of the brain in both clues? It divides the body into left and right portions, and it may be positioned at the midline or away from it. Option A, frontal plane. Option B, sagittal plane. Option C, transverse plane. Option D, parasagittal plane. The correct answer is option B, sagittal plane. The function described is that this plane divides the body into left and right portions. A second identifying feature is that it may be positioned at the midline or away from it. Together, the two clues explain the role in viewing a side section of the brain. Question 16. A learner connects the clues, releases catecholamines during sympathetic activation, and forms the inner region of the adrenal gland. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, adrenal medulla. Option B, anterior pituitary. Option C, posterior pituitary. Option D, adrenal cortex. The correct answer is option A, adrenal medulla. The function described is that this gland region releases catecholamines during sympathetic activation. A second identifying feature is that it forms the inner region of the adrenal gland. Together, the two clues explain the role in supporting rapid stress responses. Question 17. A review item describes a gland region that is regulated by releasing and inhibiting signals through a portal circulation. Which option identifies it? Option A, anterior pituitary. Option B, the adrenal medulla. Option C, the adrenal cortex. Option D, posterior pituitary. The correct answer is option A, anterior pituitary. For controlling endocrine glands and growth, this gland region synthesizes and releases several tropic hormones. It can also be recognized because it is regulated by releasing and inhibiting signals through a portal circulation. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 18. A learner connects the clues moves urine from a kidney to the bladder and uses smooth minus muscle peristalsis. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, renal pelvis. Option B, descending limb. Option C, ureter. Option D, a proximal convoluted tubule. The correct answer is option C, ureter. The function described is that this urinary structure moves urine from a kidney to the bladder. A second identifying feature is that it uses smooth minus muscle peristalsis. Together, the two clues explain the role in transporting urine. Stressed about your HESI A2? We can take HESI A2 for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A physiology item gives two clues. It carries deoxygenated blood away from the heart, and it is an exception to the usual oxygenation pattern of arteries. Which option identifies the cardiac structure? Option A, pulmonary artery. Option B, interventricular septum. Option C, right ventricle. Option D, coronary sinus. The correct answer is option A, pulmonary artery. The role tested here involves delivering blood to pulmonary capillaries. This cardiac structure carries deoxygenated blood away from the heart. It can also be identified because it is an exception to the usual oxygenation pattern of arteries. Question 20. A physiology item gives two clues. It prevents backflow from the right ventricle into the right atrium, and it has three cusps supported by chordae tendineae. Which option identifies the cardiac structure? Option A, interatrial septum. Option B, endocardium. Option C, tricuspid valve. Option D, interventricular septum. The correct answer is option C, tricuspid valve. The role tested here involves directing blood through the right atrioventricular opening. This cardiac structure prevents backflow from the right ventricle into the right atrium. It can also be identified because it has three cusps supported by chordae tendineae. Question 21. Which option identifies the skin structure or response whose key function is, produces most of the cells that form a nail plate? Option A, nail matrix. Option B, vitamin D synthesis. Option C, the Cochrane sweat gland. Option D, epidermal dendritic cell. The correct answer is option A, nail matrix. This skin structure or response produces most of the cells that form a nail plate. It lies beneath the proximal nail fold. These linked features explain the role in supporting nail growth. Question 22. Which option identifies the vascular pathway whose key function is, carries hypothalamic regulatory hormones directly to the anterior pituitary? Option A, tidal volume. Option B, norepinephrine. Option C, transfer RNA. Option D, hypophyseal portal system. The correct answer is option D, hypophyseal portal system. This vascular pathway carries hypothalamic regulatory hormones directly to the anterior pituitary. It uses two capillary beds connected by veins. These linked features explain the role in allowing precise endocrine control. Question 23. A student is reviewing a concept involved in coordinating spermatogenesis. Which option identifies the reproductive structure with this function, supports and nourishes developing sperm cells? Option A, sperm midpiece. Option B, ovary. Option C, Sertoli cell. Option D, uterus. The correct answer is option C, Sertoli cell. The role tested here involves coordinating spermatogenesis. This reproductive structure supports and nourishes developing sperm cells. It can also be identified because it also forms a blood-testis barrier and responds to pituitary signals. Question 24. Impairment of which structure would most directly prevent the following function, carries visual signals from the retina toward the brain? Option A, lens. Option B, medulla oblongata. Option C, optic nerve. Option D, stretch reflex. The correct answer is option C, optic nerve. A key clue is that this structure is formed by axons of retinal ganglion cells. It also carries visual signals from the retina toward the brain. That combination is central to transmitting sight information. Question 25. Which option identifies the reproductive structure that holds the testes outside the pelvic cavity? Option A, endometrium. Option B, seminal vesicle. Option C, epididymis. Option D is scrotum. The correct answer is option D, scrotum. This reproductive structure holds the testes outside the pelvic cavity. It helps maintain a temperature favorable for sperm production. These linked features explain the role in supporting male fertility.